The Angle Slam Podcast. It's weird that without rehearsal we're always on form of what tone we're going to go to.
Yeah, we just go for it. It seems to work every time.
Hello everybody.
Yes, it's been a while.
It has.
I mean, we technically have a podcast every month, but it's just the other one was at the start of the month and this is the end of the month.
Yeah, and I don't know if they do it on purpose, but it seems to be a long gap after WrestleMania to the next
to build up loads of storylines, and that didn't happen because Vince changed his mind every 5 fucking seconds.
It's a frustrating time to watch WWE anyway, but this month, just with things coming out and stuff, is just
absolutely ridiculous. I mean, yes, we are, of course, reviewing 2019's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But there'll probably be a few rants here and there, to be honest. Obviously, like, subscribe, all that usual stuff. We're on YouTube, we're on SoundCloud, we're on Stitcher, iTunes as well. I'm sorry that this is delayed. We were meant to be getting this up on a Tuesday, but we're getting it up on the Wednesday because I had Game of Thrones to review and be depressed about that. Because one, it's over, and two, it was...
And you had your anniversary.
Didn't stick the landing.
You had your anniversary.
And I had anniversary, yeah. Wedding anniversary.
From
I have to do romantic things sometimes.
So yeah. We have lives, you know.
Yeah, we have lives, unfortunately. Yeah.
But deaths, unfortunately, it came out, I think 3 or 4 days ago. Former diva Ashley Massaro died at 39 of suicide again.
Yeah, it's just it's getting more commonplace.
It seems to be a horrible theme that we're doing here, but I cannot stress enough again. If you're having trouble, reach out.
Yeah,
because we've known people that have either suffered from depression or unfortunately succumbed to it, and it's getting old now. It can't happen. So at 39 is not a year to go.
No,
and suicide is not the way to go.
No,
either. So we'll dedicate this to Ashley, but. I would say on to better things, but this
is going to be a controversial to say like Simon Miller from the What Culture. It's going to be very up and down.
Yeah, it will definitely. We'll start with the pre-show.
I watched the highlights.
Yeah, I don't think I even watched it, but I heard the results.
Usos winning.
Yeah, but
I was really shocked about that.
The odd thing as well is Brian took the pin, which it's. I know it shouldn't always be. If you want to make new stars, the guy on top shouldn't always be on top. But when Brian was WWE champion at WrestleMania just over a month ago, or less than a month ago, and now he's on the pre-show, but he's losing, it just doesn't make any logical sense to me.
It's like they said, we'll give you what you want, and then as soon as we've given you what you want, we'll take it away really fast as well.
Yeah, because it was kind of...
It seems to be Vince's theme.
With this ridiculous wildcard rule, which has now made the draft pointless.
This old draft fucking wildcard thing is ridiculous. It's like they haven't even got time to get used to all the people that have been drafted to different brands before they do the wildcard thing in. So I can't get comfortable. It's like there are no fucking rules here. It's literally him throwing any shit at the wall to see what sticks, and hardly any of it is.
No, it's one of the... In his head, he's probably gone...
I'm a genius! You're not a genius! You're pretentious, is what you are.
Well, the thing is, he's probably thinking for those that buy tickets, because it's probably come down to ticket sales, he's probably thought that the audience will fill into the arena and they'll be sitting there going, I wonder who from what show, if say they're on SmackDown or something, I wonder who from Raw's going to be here, will it be here? He thinks there's going to be that excitement, and there might be an element of it.
Yeah, to fucking 7-year-olds.
Yeah,
but to the majority of the people watching in there.
Well, yeah, for the TV people that he's probably going, they'll be excited too. Well, not as much.
No.
And also, it just... Don't get me wrong, if you'd had the draft for a year and a half, where Raw and SmackDown guys just stick on their show, and then someone does jump over to the show, you will get that shock element of what they're doing here.
Yeah, when they did it the first time, they did the brand split, and it was Lesnar versus Orton. When Orton appeared out of nowhere and RKO'd him, I was like, oh!
Look who's there, exactly.
Yeah, but with this, I'm just like, Rangers on Raw.
Yeah, so we had a technically Raw team in the Usos go against the SmackDown Tag Champions, Bryan and Rowan, in non-title, granted, and then lose. Which now...
I just don't see the point of it being a non-title either.
Well, I guess it had to be because Usos are technically on Raw.
Yeah,
but now
they don't have the match then.
Yeah, now people that aren't Raw Tag Champions have proved that the SmackDown Tag Champions probably can't hold a candle to the Raw Tag Division. Oh, and then Daniel Bryan as well, which, come on, he's one of the greatest wrestlers we've seen in the past decade.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, so I can't comment a lot on it because I didn't watch the pre-show. But the result itself is kind of like, good for the Usos, but what does it gain for anybody else?
Anything,
no, it doesn't.
Right, main card then.
Yeah, first was the women's
Money in the Bank.
Alright, I'll start off with a pro and a what the fuck kind of thing. Because I've kind of been very verbal on my fan perspective of Naomi. Right?
Yeah.
In the match, she proved actually, damn, she's a very good athletic wrestler.
She is. I've had a lot to say for Naomi. I think she's got
so thumbs up with that. She impressed me.
Absolutely.
But what was being dressed like a fucking bumblebee about?
I don't know.
Was it a tribute to someone?
I was just like, okay, is this a new thing we're going with?
Because at first,
I don't know.
She got no entrance. She was just in the ring.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, just going into the dark.
Things in her hands. I don't know what were they wings?
I don't know, but it was one of those things where I thought, oh, are they on a tight schedule here that they've had to hurry this along? But I thought, at first I saw the hair thing, I was like, alright, going for some kind of Minnie Mouse thing here, and then halfway through the entrances I was like, what's she wearing? What's going on here?
It's a fucking bee!
I mean, fair enough, and then the only other, before we really get into the match, Nikki Cross is meant to have this new character, and she kind of came out as her old one. She was psycho.
But I think what they're trying to do with her is that when she's out of the ring, she's normal.
She's a nice chick.
But when she's in the ring or going into a match, she goes nuts. Now, it's fine, but personally, I think we've had that before with... I don't know who specifically off the top of my head, but I feel like we've had that before with someone. And I like Nikki just being nuts.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just thought, we just can't have her being nuts all the time because we're going to run out of steam or some shit. I don't know, but... It just seemed so out of left field, and just seeing her talking normally, it's like, what?
I will give the WWE a pass here because obviously they've only just started this new Nikki development thing.
So you give it a chance.
Yeah, but also she had to replace Alexa because for some whatever reason Alexa wasn't.
You're in the match. No, you're not. It's what? You're not.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. But so Nikki had to be replaced, and Alexa had to be replaced with Nikki, and it was probably the case of Nikki going, well, what am I doing here? We haven't really developed my new character yet. And Vince going, well, for now, just be your old character. We'll worry about it later. So, yeah, the match itself...
boring.
I didn't think it was too...
I think the eclipse of the top, that was great. I think Dana didn't do too bad.
No, she did all right.
I thought, all right, this girl, she's...
Well, she took that dangerous spot when she was swinging from the thing. I know people have done that before, but it still takes balls.
Like I said,
to do it.
There were some spots that I do remember.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it was a pretty nothing match. It ended so abruptly. I felt like, it's time to pick up steam, and then suddenly, it's over.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I could have gone for another 6, maybe 7 minutes there.
Yeah, I mean, I've always thought...
And I'm not really happy about the outcome either. I mean, in our own personal predictions, I betted for her to win, because it seemed like the common sense thing to do, but I didn't want that person to win. I felt like it was time to build up someone new.
Yeah.
And they said with these briefcases that was what's going to happen this time. It's like we realised in the last few years they haven't been building up people very well. They've either been cashed in unsuccessfully or they've cashed in too soon. And I'll get into it later with what happened with both of these, and it's just proven that was utter bollocks.
It wasn't. Most fans, especially, well, I can't speak for all fans, but in our little circle of fans anyway, we've always seen the Money in the Bank as this is the pay-per-view to catapult, mid-card stars
to the top.
Yeah,
and that's what it should be. That's the whole reason that Jericho came up with the whole thing.
But it would kind of be predictable if a mid-carder amongst some main event stars in the match always winning. But yeah, I agree that maybe Bayley wasn't the right decision.
Yeah, but Bayley won.
But it wasn't exactly. I wasn't like throwing stuff around the room. It was just kind of okay.
Yeah, it wasn't.
We're going that way.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Bayley because I like Bayley.
Yeah,
and I was just like, if she won it, when she won it, I was like, okay, fine. But I just would have preferred Ember Moon or Nikki Cross to win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I would have preferred those two. Definitely Ember Moon. She was the one that I really wanted to win this, and it ended up being Bayley, and that's fine. It's just that I don't care.
It was a very interesting mix because I did think. I just looked at Ember's the obviously fan favourite. Is Nikki going to win it in the shock of because everyone just thought, well, she's just a replacement. Maybe they would have gone with the shock thing. It come out recently that Dana Brooke is such a hard worker that maybe
they'll give her a chance.
Yeah, they'll give her a chance. And then I thought, even looking at Mandy sometimes, is she going to be the dark horse that just shocks everybody?
I thought the entire time Sonya was going to turn her at one point, but at one point she was fine and carrying her up.
I thought she was going to throw her off.
What I thought she was going to do, she was going to push her up to the top, and as she was so close, she'd suddenly just grab the ladder and then go. throw her off. You know what I mean? But
because
it never happened. I generally thought it would happen. But
the fact that the commentators were saying like, "Oh, Sonya just said, here, Mandy, you have this slot."
Yes, they played on it a lot.
Yeah, it was
so
kind of like,
there's going to be.
Why would she do that? You know, I mean, there should be a little bit of like, okay, we're friends, but I want this spot. Why would Sonya go, you know what, you go for it. You have the opportunity of a lifetime, unless there was a hidden agenda.
Yeah.
The only person I didn't think was going to win was Carmella, because she won it last year. Well, not last year, but the one before. There was some really weird spot where
she got hit by Mandy and she was gone for a bit, wasn't she?
Yeah,
but I thought it was genuine.
So did I, because the way she did it, the ladder hit the knee, and then she wasn't in that whole, what I deem as a professional way of still do the match, but whisper to your opponent, "I'm hurt, leave me be a minute." She just kind of stood there and was pushing Mandy away, going, "No, don't hit me, I'm hurt." And Mandy's standing there going, "Well, what do I do?" I'm like, yeah, like if you're in a genuine fight, Mandy's going to go, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
So for a while, I wasn't sure if it was a genuine spot. When
she came back out,
she did. So maybe it was a planned spot, but just the way it went down, I just, speaking from a kayfabe point of view,
it's a bit perplexing.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things of like, okay, if Carmella's genuinely injured, that sucks. But she wouldn't have got it about the right way of kind of just saying, "Stop the match, I'm hurt."
Yeah.
And Mandy going, "Yeah, all right."
Yeah.
It just wouldn't have happened that way.
It gets rid of that whole illusion of the realism.
Yeah, it breaks kayfabe.
Yeah.
And
which I know is a very thin line these days.
Yeah, but you
try
want
to
to
invest
buy
in it
into the
when you
illusion.
can.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just all right, I suppose. Match. It just.
I thought it was better. I don't remember a lot of last year's match, women's Money in the Bank match, but I think it was slightly better. The women are great competitors, but when it comes to like Royal Rumbles, Battle Royals, or like multi-women matches, it does kind of turn into a very catfight scrap.
Not occasionally, I suppose.
Yeah, they're very good in like tag team one-on-one situations. When it comes to when there's just a load of them, it seems just almost like a blind panic. So sometimes, and there was elements of that in this, but I'm nitpicking there. Next was Joe versus Ray. Yeah, that was my reaction. Right.
I mean, you make Joe look strong at Mania by obliterating him, and my point is, you do that again now. You double down on him, and you make him strong.
You make him a monster.
You make him a monster, and you can do that with Ray, because it doesn't matter how many times Rey Mysterio loses, because he's so over.
He's the
underdog. It doesn't matter how many times he loses, because everybody will still love him, and he's at that point in his career where he's there to put over talent. Yeah. That is the point. But then they do this whole thing again, which they've done 3 times now. Oh, it's a cheeky roll-up, and then Joe looks furious. But the only controversy we've got this time is that the shoulder was definitely
up. The whole thing.
And then he beats Ray down afterwards. But still, it's just like, you're not making Joe look strong. You're making him look like he's an idiot.
Yeah.
You make him think like he's talking a big game, and he's going, "Oh, I'm fucking awesome, and I will kick your ass." And then he fails. He goes, "Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't see that coming." It makes him look like a fucking idiot, and he's not a fucking idiot. When you hear him talk, the way he articulates and the way he speaks, you go, "This guy means fucking business."
He knows what he's doing.
He's starting to get to this Bray Wyatt style of things, where he talks a big game, and every time he's in the ring, he loses.
Yeah, he's booked the wrong way.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
It was one of them where I was literally went the same reaction as everyone in the arena. I leapt forward, just went, "What the fuck?" kind of thing. But I did think it's come to light that there was Ray had a shoulder injury. I don't know if it happened earlier in the match, or it was before, or whatever.
I'm going to lose again.
Yeah, exactly. If he came in injured, why give him the US belt? Yeah. But maybe it happened in the match. There was the potential nose break and the blood, where I was getting pissed off because I seen the ref lean into Joe and say something. I thought, if he's done that thing of Vince's fear of blood of going, "There's blood, just go to the finish." Fuck that. I did think maybe the whole point was to kind of go, well, Joe beat Ray in record time at Mania. This is payback. Which I still wouldn't have liked.
50-50 booking, isn't it?
Yeah, I still wouldn't have liked. But the fact that Joe's shoulder was 1.5 miles off the fucking canvas was just like, what the fuck just happened?
The only thing they can do now is try and recuperate it using that. I pray they don't ignore it. I want to use it in the storyline and go, "My shoulder was up, you don't earn that title," and build it back up again. Get him another shot and have him fucking obliterate him and take it back.
Well, the shock on both competitors was more like, I think Joe was selling it as like, well, I don't know, because he must have known how far his shoulder was up. Ray looked genuinely shocked as well. And then Joe did this thing where he looked like he was tearing up. Now, I don't know if that's because he got the nose thing, which, you will tear up if you get whacked on the nose, or if he was trying to sell this thing of devastation, whatever. But then they had the whole thing with Dominic, and it kind of brought it back a bit that Joe destroyed Ray.
Yeah.
But even then there was a fuck up, which I didn't notice, where Dominic was staring. Well, they had the stare down, and apparently Joe had to lean into the ref. Like, tell Dominic to move over here because I can't leave the ring if he's standing on the ramp. Otherwise, even though in my head I thought, well, you could have had this ultimate stare down with Dominic.
You could just walk down, stare at him, and then just go round him and walk away.
But apparently he had to get the ref to tell Dominic, no, move over here so I can bugger off. So I don't think the rivalry's over. I'm hoping if they are going to have one more match, that it'll be the match of like, right, we've had our little 60-second flukes. Let's do it properly this time. Yeah. So
with Joe on top.
Ray's new United States champion.
Yeah.
He's the Grand Slam champion. Mm-hmm. He's obviously building up with something with Ray and Dominic. And Joe, I'll see what happens, but I was very disappointed with that match. It was just like, what was the game here? Yeah. Next was, if I just go to my thing, the cage match.
Yeah,
with Shane and the Miz. The match itself wasn't bad.
This thing, the match itself was good. It was literally just the ending. I was a little bit kind of. I knew that like Shane was going to win with heel tactics. I knew, or just manage to just escape in a way. Yeah. I knew that was going to happen, which is why I bet for Shane because it makes sense. But he did get his ass handed to him. He got plenty of chair shots. He got plenty of spots and hits and cage door slams onto his face and shit by Miz. So he definitely got what was coming to him to a point. It's just he happened to just slip out of his t-shirt and fall down.
Yeah, looking at the hindsight of how the match went down. Miz had 80-90% of the offense.
Yeah,
he was kicking Shane's ass, which is a nice thing to see because it's like this is the comeuppance. But in hindsight, it's easy to see like right. Obviously, Miz got that much punishment that Shane would just slither in the victory there,
which makes me think they're going to continue. Which is fine. I could go for one more. I like the feud enough. They're investing me enough in this feud where I can go. I believe him as a heel. I believe Miz as a face, which is something I never
and you want Miz to win.
And I want Miz to win, so we will eventually get that. I'm hoping we do anyway.
Yeah. The only problem again, I think the refs must have been on strike or something. There was a point in the match.
Yeah, there was a lot of ref problems. I
was hoping the way it was going. I was thinking, I hope this isn't work. Where like,
he put his foot on the rope, didn't he?
Yeah,
and rope breaks don't count.
But the fact is, earlier in the match, it had because there was like a figure 4 leg lock Miz did. Shane got in the ropes, and the ref was like, "Well, tough shit," So I think he tried to come out the door. So he'd already clarified no rope breaks, and yet as soon as there was a school crush finale and Shane got his foot on the rope, it's like, look at that. Even Michael Cole was going, ref, no. Yeah. The crowd are chanting bullshit.
If Michael Cole's calling you on it, then there's a fucking problem.
But, the fact that Corey, Shane and all the commentators were just sitting there going, what the fuck is going on?
I guarantee you that they're not going to fucking use this in a storyline whatsoever, but my opinion, you should.
Yeah, why not? Use that mistake.
Yeah, and use it and just go, there's a reason. It's like Shane said, if I didn't help him to win, he'd fire me.
Yeah.
Because he's abusing his power at the moment anyway, so go with it. Just say, the reason I let him off that rope break is because he said if I didn't give him a chance to win, he'd fire me.
Yeah. Well, at the minute...
Nice and easy. You don't need to go into it too much. You don't need to use the ref more than for a couple of seconds just to say that, and you carry on with the storyline.
Yeah.
It fixes it instantly.
At the minute, they have that announcement, which is quickly becoming utter bullshit of like, you guys now have the power.
Rubbish!
Yeah,
I feel like I've had less power since they've said that.
Yeah. But at the time, what was it? Triple H, Shane, Steph, and Vince were standing in the ring. And currently, Triple H is the only kind of face character amongst that. If they did some storyline where Triple H comes out where he finds out that Vince, Shane, and Steph have been paying referees and doing this, just keeping control secretly, that's when you can, in an ideal world, it could be the turnover of Triple H taking over the company. But it's not. They're, like you say, they're probably going to ignore it. They just kind of sweep it under the carpet, and it would forever known to be his money in the botch.
Money in the botch. Money in the botch.
Because that's all it really was. But the cage match wasn't a bad match. So it was good spots. Just a couple of why is that suddenly a rule?
Yeah.
And it was kind of a cheap victory, but it kind of works.
As long as they have as long as they have that payoff with Miz eventually getting the upper hand and winning the next match, then I'll let that ending slide.
If it was the other way round, it kind of still would have worked, but it still would have been like, come on, the face guy can't win that way. It's got to be a clean victory.
Yeah.
The fact that Shane won and he's a bad guy and it was a kind of cheap victory, it's like, okay, fair enough. Let's see, sorry, going back to my list. Oh, the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, I was surprised on the main card.
Yeah.
I really was. It was alright. It was fine. It just wasn't anything amazing. I did remember me sitting on my phone quite a lot during the match, so I wasn't really paying too much attention to it because it just wasn't grasping me that much.
It was one of them where, when it started, I mean, they gave the Rory a big entrance with the car, very Alberto Del Rio. Yeah. So it's like, oh, they're taking this seriously, and it was like you say, good. It's on the main card for once.
Yeah.
So as they were making their entrances, it was like Nice and Daivari got approved, like all the other cruiserweights have on the pre-show matches, that they belong on this main card. And I think they dropped the ball in that.
Yeah, it didn't really prove it.
They just kind of did this thing where they must... The last 2 to 3 minutes were really exciting. It was kind of like, well, let's just do this generic wrestling match until we get to the good stuff. And I was sitting there going, no, without momentum building up to that, it's pointless.
It doesn't mean anything.
So it just kind of seemed not even a standard cruiserweight match. There was not much cruiserweight stuff going on.
There really wasn't. There wasn't many high-flying moments.
No, until the last 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just kind of, unfortunately for them, it was the piss break match.
Yeah.
But I bet a lot of the fans didn't go for the piss break because, you expect stuff from the cruiserweights. And for being on the main card, I was kind of sitting there thinking, this could steal it. And I was definitely wrong.
It did not.
No, so...
Yeah, Tony Nese retained.
Yeah,
which I expected. I mean, he hasn't had it long enough for him to warrant it being taken off him.
Yeah, so it is one of those kind of matches, all we can do is say, give you the result, because there's nothing really much to talk about. Then it was the Women's Championship matches.
Yeah, but matches.
Yeah.
Which I was quite shocked about. I didn't expect them to be one after the other, although I do like that they decided to do that. I think it makes sense for why Becky would lose a title.
It's a good heel move for Charlotte.
The match between Lacey and Becky was actually quite good. I didn't mind. It wasn't like it was a world beater, but it was a good, solid. It could sit in a nice main event for Raw or something like that. I think it was a reasonable match.
Yeah.
I knew Lacey wasn't going to take it this time, and she didn't. But then I actually quite liked how she fed into when Charlotte attacked her. They started the second match. Then she gave a woman's right near the end, and Charlotte took the SmackDown title. It all worked into a nice, cohesive story. It's basically Becky put up her dude. She fought as hard as she could, but she just came up short, unfortunately, right at the very end. And it makes complete sense.
Yeah, in my head, the reason I thought Lacey might take it, but the only reason I thought that, in my head, I was thinking if they do Charlotte Becky first, then Lacey would have took it.
Yeah.
But as soon as Lacey came out first, I was like, she ain't doing it tonight.
Charlotte's taking it.
Yeah, because there's no way they were going to have Becky lose the Raw Women's Championship
then win the next one.
It just logically doesn't make sense.
No.
But I thought that if they want to give Lacey a big push, giving her that first title victory, like they did with Ronda Rousey, would have done it. But, like I say, it didn't happen. The match was okay. Again, massive fuck up on the pin, or the end. It was like a roll-up. I think Lacey got the roll-up. The ref just didn't count it.
Yeah.
And then waited for the reverse into the armbar where Lacey just tapped out straight away.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, why didn't you do the count? And B, I'm pretty sure it was a 3.
Yeah, it was a long way.
Yeah. Also, because it wasn't the case of like the Joe thing of like his shoulders obviously up. It was the opposite. It was Becky's shoulders are down. Do the count. If it's meant to be a kick out, then we'll forgive her. Oh yeah, she did kick out more than not just standing there doing nothing.
Yeah.
Becky won. Charlotte came out straight away,
beat her up, and then she goaded her into the next match, which she did. She got her ass kicked pretty much.
Yeah, it was still.
It's good.
It was okay.
It's good heel heat for Charlotte because Charlotte's a great wrestler. I love her so much, and she's great as a heel. And I think that makes sense. Charlotte obviously taking the title off Becky. Fine.
With the Lacey stuff, I agree that was a good idea for Lacey to get involved.
Yeah, definitely, because she's pissed off that she lost, so she decides, I'm going to cost you this. And obviously it carries on the feud with Lacey and Becky sitting on Raw while Charlotte's on SmackDown with what happened straight after. Bayley came out, helped out Becky, and I thought, she ain't cashing in, because they did it last year with Alexa. So I thought, and they said they wanted to build stars with these briefcases. This is back when I thought they were actually going to do that.
Yeah.
And how can you build a star when you get her to cash in straight away? She cashed in successfully and took the belt from Charlotte, and it's a great moment.
It was, yes,
it's a lovely moment. It was a nice pop, and she was there with the crowd and all the banners, and I loved that. It was great. I liked it, but you could have slow burned all the way up to that, to the point where she finally cashed in on Charlotte. Charlotte could have been a heel for ages with that title. Yeah. Then Bayley finally cashes in on her, takes that title away from her, and you would have had an amazing moment. She could have been the first woman to cash in at Mania or something like that. That would have been lovely. Yeah. But no, they decided to go for the cheap pop early on. It's probably Vince once again going, no, do it tonight. And it's a great opportunity for Bayley, but I feel like it was a rush storyline. It could have been dragged out a bit more, and it would have made both characters much better for it, and that's just a shame.
It seems to be that Vince's logic is now, well, if the fans are paid to see Money in the Bank on TV or whatever, there's got to be at least one cash-in. That is not the case.
No, it isn't the case. The main thing we go is to see the winners, to see what the potential is.
Yes, because the idea, the excitement of the concept is this contract can be cashed in over a 12-month period.
Yeah.
And now you've pissed away the women's as quickly as you did last year.
It's like when they did it with Dolph, it was executed absolutely perfectly.
It was perfect.
He built and built and built and built to that, to the point where he came out on that Monday night after Raw. Everybody was going
Mania.
The Monday night after the Raw after Mania. Sorry, everybody was going absolutely insane because it was perfect. The match after that was brilliant as well, and the final nail in the coffin when he took it off him.
One of the biggest pops I've ever heard.
Amazing. It was, and they haven't had that with the Money in the Briefcase.
Money in the Briefcase.
Money in the Briefcase.
Money in the Botch.
The Money in the Botch. the briefcase cash-in in a long time. No. I mean, I think the one with Ambrose was good, and I know it was a cash-in on the same night, but that made sense for his character.
It did.
But with this, it doesn't make sense for Bayley's character.
We'll get more into what happened with the men's later, but again, they've kind of pissed away that excitement of... they've just pissed away the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Because it's like...
Not just one briefcase, both briefcases.
Yeah, you've destroyed the concept of the 12-month period.
Yeah.
You've just gone, okay, we'll strike while it's hot. Because, it is hot, but think about it.
That's the problem. Vince isn't thinking about things at the minute. He's literally thinking, what can we do to get the cheap pop now? Let's get the people through now. Because he's panicking, he's worried about the whole AEW thing, and he's worried that people are going to leave, they don't want to be here. He's in such a fluster that he's creating all these random things like, do this now, do that now, do the fucking wildcard now, cash in now, do this person now, push this person, fuck that person. He's just going, do all this. And because of that, it's making bad booking, bad storytelling, and it's fucking up every single character. Yeah. And he's such an idiot with it. It's unreal.
It's one of those things of like...
frustrating thing, didn't
it? He's probably sitting there going to whoever's next to him, Road Dogg, Michael Hayes, whoever he's got, John Laurinaitis. Right, we're going to do it now. We're going to do it now. We're going to get Bayley. Bayley does it. Yay! And they'll go, wow. They'll probably kiss his ass and go, wow, look at the reaction.
That's the thing. Like, it's what Punk says. Like, he's got yes men around him all the time. He needs to have some people going, no!
Yeah, like Shane, like Triple H.
Yeah. And he still doesn't listen. He's still not listening.
It's going to be one of those like, okay, it was a great payoff. Look at the crowd reaction. The crowd love it. And they did. I'm not going to take that away.
What's
next? I don't know.
Exactly.
If you don't have a future plan, because of what you were saying...
Well, maybe he does have a future plan, but because he changes it on a fucking whim, that plan goes out the window, and then you've got nothing.
Yeah, but the fact that you were saying about the panic of AEW, in his head, he's probably gone, if we do this, those that didn't tune in will next time. Because, forget about the tuning in for next Money in the Bank. If she kept the briefcase, it's more incentive to tune in because you don't know when she's going to be cashing in.
Every single week.
At any point.
Every week you tune in and it can happen at any time.
Yeah, but now it's like, it happened on the same night. Every now and then that's acceptable, but now you've done it too many fucking times.
You have, like really recently as well.
Yeah, so this will make you more angry. If
I couldn't be already.
Yeah. The idea of Charlotte winning the women's championship is because this is her 9th time, and she's only been on the roster a few years.
Yeah, she has a lot of titles in a short amount of time.
The idea is, for whatever reason, again, probably ridiculous Vince logic, is they want her to be a 17-time world champion as quickly as possible.
What?
So,
why?
To beat her dad's record. But me and Zach, my brother, for those that don't know, we're discussing this of like, she's got a lot of years ahead of her. They don't have to rush that.
No.
So if
she barely gets injured. The only time she was injured is because she had a fucking tit dislodged.
Yeah.
That was it. But like, so it's not like she gets injured all the time and she's on the shelf. She's a real good, safe wrestler. You've got so many years in her.
Yeah, and if she doesn't hit 16, 17 world championships, So what? She's already kind of proved to me that
regardless of whether she's a Flair, she's still great.
Yes, and I can't really comment properly because I didn't really watch Ric Flair's heyday. But to me, she might have even surpassed what Rick did in the ring, like physically. And
so. Well, a lot of wrestlers are these days. They surpass what.
The last thing I want to see this year is the Women's Championship hot potato to Charlotte, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky, Charlotte again. Just keeps going back and forth to Charlotte just to get that result, because results don't mean anything. It's the way they're executed that matters.
They only mean something if you build something up good enough.
Yeah. So the Becky 2 belts thing's already out the window, which I thought they might do for the show.
But it's not a problem because that's just a little catchphrase thing. As long as Becky's still a champion for a while.
They made the T-shirt, but again, shock element to go like it's the double bluff of like, well, they've made the T-shirt, she got to hold the belts for a while. Actually, she's not. But I would have been, even though I'm annoyed with the cash-in, I probably would have been more annoyed that Charlotte walked out as champion and Lacey didn't. But with Bayley walking out, it's kind of like, all right, slight silver lining, despite me not agreeing with the cash-in on the same night. So, they got the women's matches out like one after the other. Then it was...
Universal, was it?
No, it was Roman Elias.
Oh, yeah.
Which, again, is a very forgettable match.
It was forgettable because it wasn't a fucking match. It was Elias attacking Reigns on the way to the ring with the acoustic guitar, then Elias coming out with an electric guitar for a change.
Yeah, and I thought it was worse.
It didn't sound as good. I think one of those strings were out of tune.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they were. Did a set, actually finished it this time, and then as he was going up the round, Reigns came out, Superman punched him, threw him in the ring, speared him, good night.
Yeah, there's not really much more to add.
No, there's nothing, that's it, that's all there is.
It's one of
Reigns wins well, as we expect anyway, which is fine, but there's nothing there. There's nothing to talk about.
One of them again, if the Joe Ray match and that Roman Elias match were planned to go the way they actually did, what was the point of having them on the card? Because you could have had the Joe Ray thing on the pre-show or on a SmackDown if that's the way it was meant to be executed. Again, we don't know. It could have been injuries or botches. But the Elias-Roman thing, I don't know if Roman or Elias are secretly hiding an injury, or was it just an excuse to get Roman on the card? Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great in a way to see Roman back since the cancer.
It is great to see him back, and I'm glad he's in this position where he's not anywhere near a title.
Stealing the spotlight.
Yeah, which is fine.
But
do a proper match though.
It kind of was like, okay.
Anybody can hear that? It's the absolute wank stain down the road.
It's kind of become our mascot.
Yeah. Dickhead.
Yeah. So, okay, you gave Roman a victory, but it did nothing for Roman and buried Elias. Well, kind of. I think Elias is in that lucky position at the minute that he would just kind of keep floating to the top.
Yeah, he's still at that point where he can't be buried at the moment because he's so good as it.
But if they keep going the way they are,
if they keep doing it, you got to give him a win every now and then.
Yeah.
I think maybe soon you need to be putting a title line, US or Intercontinental or something. You need to be doing something.
Yeah, I mean,
just to give us that kind of, he can still be awesome. He doesn't have to lose all the time.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to give too much way to my friend on my right here. You don't know he's on my right, I'm telling you.
I am.
Yeah, some matches have been announced for Super Showdown. Roman is going to be on the card, and I think there will be an Elias interference thing in that. So I think the storyline isn't quite done. But yeah, it was just one of those matches of like, what was the point if you were going to execute it that way?
Then it was the Universal title.
Not only was this the match of the night,
this was one of the matches of the year.
Yeah,
fucking great match.
Because
absolutely incredible.
I loved it.
I never got bored. It paced absolutely beautifully. These guys went really well. There's no point I was getting bored. Everything just kept building and building and building. The kickouts meant everything. The spots meant everything. It just felt like these two were going, right, let's fucking destroy everyone on this card. And they fucking did.
It was fantastic.
It was a great...
This is really weird for us to see it as something positive.
I know, right? Because at the moment it's not been doing too well. But this,
this is incredible. The kind of stuff I want to say.
Yeah, I want this on every single fucking pay-per-view and every single match. I want to be going awesome, like we do with NXT.
Yeah, but we've always said like a big part of matches and the build. Just matches is the build-up, is the storyline. Now, the storyline for Seth AJ weren't the greatest.
It's a simple. I don't like you. I want your title, and that's pretty good.
But if I can use the example from a few years ago, WrestleMania would have been 28. It was when it was. The streak was still alive. Oh, God rest it. Taker Triple H in the cell, Shawn's the ref. The story was brilliant. The build-up was brilliant. To the point that it wasn't the wrestling as such, but just the little things like Taker shoving Shawn every now and then. I was there on the edge of my seat like, don't piss him off, because he could cost you this. With this, the storyline didn't matter. This was just a fantastic wrestling match where I just sat there going,
the two best.
Yeah, I wasn't there going, oh, this is a great story. I was like, this is a great wrestling match where I think there might have been some commentator table spots, but no weapons, no interference. They just did what they were paid to do.
I think my favourite bit was the stomp reversed into the Clash.
Oh, it was genius.
That was good. That was great. I loved that. I thought when he hit it, I was like, oh my god, he's going to do this. Yeah. And when he kicked out, I was like, oh, because not many people kick out of the Clash.
Well, they do. That's the problem. A lot of people do.
Do they?
Yeah. Usually,
or maybe he just doesn't use it that much.
Yeah, it was one of them. Yeah, he doesn't use it as much anymore. But I also liked the. Usually, Seth does the superplex Falcon Arrow. He did the reverse
one. That was great as well.
And it was like poetry in motion.
Yeah,
perfect.
I loved it.
AJ and Seth, I think there might have been a couple of little botches where there was a slip.
But it's not to be noticed.
No,
really.
It was almost a perfect match.
Yeah, it really was. They complemented each other ever so well. Like I said, everything meant something.
Yeah, it was instant chemistry.
Yeah, real good chemistry. Seth with the win, got the curb stomp in the end and took him out. Makes sense. And a handshake at the end. A bit of a hesitant handshake, but handshake nonetheless. But again, it makes sense for the characters. They're both face, and I'm fine with faces shaking hands at the end.
Yeah, what I liked about the hesitant was also AJ genuinely. I think I even heard AJ go, "Don't you see how hard this is for me?" Of like he kind of didn't want to do it, but he thought I got to be a bigger man here.
Yeah,
and the fact that when he put his hand out, that even Seth hesitated. It was like I was sitting there thinking, if there was going to be a heel turn, I'm not sure which one's going to hit who here.
Yeah,
but it turned out to be the handshake, and they might build on it later. The only little thing I have with it is obviously the Styles Clash. Seth kicked out. The curb stomp. It took just a little while for Seth to hit the pin.
Yeah,
so I thought AJ should have kicked out of that, because I was thinking if Seth kicked out of one of AJ's finishes, surely AJ should kick out of one of Seth's so they look equally matched, and then one more curb stomp to put him away. Because it seems to kind of happen that way for AJ, where I know he's in that position now where he probably is slowly passing the torch to people, because he's probably not that many years left. But I still don't like the fact that it buried AJ just ever so slightly a little bit.
I didn't feel that.
Not like a full-on burial. He proved that he belongs in the main event scene. But one thing I will say with it, it was also one of those matches where I didn't think, well, it can't get better than that. And I mean that in a compliment, in the sense of I want to see these two go again, because I think they've got a lot more in the tank.
I don't know whether they're going to, though, because it seemed like that seemed to close itself off quite emphatically with the handshake.
Yeah, for now, unless they might throw.
If they turn AJ heel, then they could go for a full-on feud, and I'd be fine with it, because, like I said, they've shown that they can do good matches. Yeah, great matches.
It's a rarity nowadays where usually we fans are fickle in the sense of we'll be excited for a pay-per-view match. We'll watch it, it'll be good or bad, whatever, and then they do it again the next pay-per-view where you're like, well, no, I've seen that now. But every now and then, like stuff like Zayn and Owens, or Ciampa and Gargano, or Rock and Austin, you will tune in every time they're doing it.
How many times they go against each other?
Yeah, Seth and AJ are slowly becoming that kind of thing.
Yeah, but yeah, great. Absolutely incredible match.
Fantastic match.
Then it was KO versus Kofi for the WWE Championship.
Yes.
It wasn't a bad match. No. I think it was still a great match. Again, it was paced quite well.
It wasn't going to beat the last match.
No, it wasn't. We get our bit of deflation, but there was nothing wrong with this match. Yeah. Again, it was built nicely. It was paced quite reasonably. There was a couple of spots that were really well done. The hitting the stunner.
Yeah, it took him a while to do it. It's a lot of reversals.
He got the stunner, but he didn't get the pin. The SOS was good. The Trouble in Paradise to pick up the win, so Kofi still is your champ, which makes sense. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that as long as they keep up with this feud. And I think that KO should eventually take it.
Yeah,
I think eventually. I think maybe it's SummerSlam or something like that. KO's at that point where I think he deserves it. Someone needs to dethrone Kofi eventually, because you can't keep this up forever.
No.
So
it begins to get boring if they do it.
Yeah, and I think KO's perfectly fine with being the one to do that. He's a great heel. He's well overdue that championship. We all agree on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a good match. It's a shame that it came after the one that we just watched. So But yeah, overall, I still really enjoy it.
Yeah, I still think even if they were the other way round, it wouldn't have held a candle to Seth AJ if Kevin was on.
No, it wouldn't have.
It was. I'm going to say it was a little bit more than just standard. I'm not going to piss on their parade. It was a main event caliber match.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I didn't get the bit why he threw Kofi's shoes off at the end.
Yeah,
I don't know if there was a reference to his shoes.
I think he probably one of the
kind of thing. But I love his heel work. And when I mean Kevin's heel work, I don't mean the cheating. Just the yelling at fans, like, stop clapping!
Yeah.
Stop clapping! Just, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah,
a heel wrestler shouldn't give a shit. So he's doing that well. Again, there's not a lot of good or bad I can say about this match.
It did what it needed to do.
Yeah. But unfortunately, with the position of the pay-per-view being just after WrestleMania and Kofi's title victory still being quite fresh, no one really ever truly believed that Kevin was going to do it.
No, because you can't have that amazing feel-good moment at Mania and then take it away the next pay-per-view. It makes no sense.
That's the struggle nowadays. I mean, AJ and Seth, like I say, put on a hell of a match, and there was maybe a slight sense of maybe AJ could pull this off, but I never truly believed it. It's very difficult nowadays with social media and everything to go
rumours and shit.
Actually, for these examples, Kevin or AJ might do this. You need to have such a caliber of match to kind of go, oh, hang on a sec, my opinion has changed halfway through.
Like they do with NXT.
Yes.
A lot of times with championship matches, you believe who's going to be the one to go over, but so many times in the matches you're thinking, holy shit, I think I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a lot more big spots and momentum and hype in the cruiserweight match, I think some of what Daivari and Nice were trying to execute was Daivari could do this. And there was a little, even though I wasn't excited, there were parts of it was like, they might go with Daivari with this. But I don't want to be just sitting there like, oh, it might be Daivari. I want to be going, oh my god, it might be KO or whatever.
That's the exact difference of what it's like.
You need excitement. Yeah.
It's hard to get excited these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, good match.
Right. Then the main event.
Well, we had that thing with Lars Sullivan as well.
I panicked because of our bet.
Because we did predictions of matches and everything, and then Lars comes out against Lucha House Party, and apparently it's meant to be a 3-on-3. I was like, what? Yeah. Well, we're not going to get a point. What's going on? And then he just decimates him and
pushed himself
open. Nothing interesting there. So yeah, main event, men's Money in the Bank.
We should go back to what happened with Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy took Braun's place from Raw. And then
Sammy asked for protection. Triple H told him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, and then he found Sammy upside down. Then Braun got the blame and was sent away. You assume it was Braun, and it's clearly somebody else, which we'll get into.
Yeah, because no spoilers, because I genuinely don't think they've touched on this on Raw and SmackDown. I hope they don't just go, this is the guy who attacked Sammy. I like the mystery, because the three people I've got in my head is maybe it was Braun, but I doubt it. Could have, spoiler alert, I'm not going to get all of it, but Brock was in the building. That's all I'll say right now. It could have been Brock. I did think, with the way he was hung upside down, is this Bray?
Yeah!
Because it's kind of ceremonial.
You see the thing about Bray at the minute is anytime you can try and inject him into a fucking storyline.
Only because
I woke up and Bray sitting there.
Only because of the promos that have been going on with Raw. Because the way with the mask and the yowie wowie, it was like, right, he's revealed his true kind of form now, his new form. Maybe he'll strike at the pay-per-view. But maybe that was the original plan. But in the news, he's recently become a father. So I'm guessing he was with his wife. Well, I don't know, new girlfriend. I think some controversy with that as well. His new girlfriend and son.
Jojo.
So it was kind of like, he maybe wasn't planned at all, but I wasn't expecting to be there. I figured he'd be with his new child and everything. But the match itself.
Good.
It was.
There was a lot of spots. There was a lot of moments. I think Finn took most of the punishment, man.
I wanted Finn to piss everyone.
I know. This was like every 5 minutes he was getting absolutely annihilated by a ladder. I was like, oh my god! At what point did he pull the short straw? Going, yeah, you're taking all the punishment tonight. Because fuck me, that sunset flip.
He flew.
Fuck me, the bounce and then hit it again and fell off. I was like, oh, I think Finn's done. And then he proceeded to get hit 3 or 4 more times.
It's one of those things where sometimes on TV you hear the reaction of the crowd because it's a different atmosphere in the arena.
Yeah.
And you like it at home, but you don't react like that. I reacted the exact same way of the crowd. Oh God! Holy fuck!
I just went,
It was
that look at her.
It was one of the best Money in the Bank ladder matches I remember in a long while.
It was a good match. It really was. Everybody got their moments to shine. Everybody had their spots. The whole.
Orton started off quite quick. There was backdrops on the
back on the commentators. Baron and Drew fighting against each other because that all broke down and whatnot.
Baron, this is probably more for Ali to praise, but Baron chokeslammed Ali through that table. He destroyed that table.
I think it was it Ricochet diving through the rope and he got a deep six out of it. That was pretty decent.
It might have been Ricochet. He took the bump through the ladder.
Yeah.
I think that was that Corbin or Drew? I think it might be Drew.
And then Ali did a really good stuff. I really enjoyed everything he did there. He was actually the favourite to win. Apparently that was the original plan, for Ali to be the winner.
And then stuff happened.
I think this match kind of outlines everything that's going on in WWE at the moment and how frustrated we are, indeed Triple H and everybody else are, with Vince McMahon. Because clearly what happened here was this was the plan, this was the awesome match where all these guys put in all this effort, all this work and all this attention to this great match, because it was a great match. And then Vince to just go and piss all over it, but going, no, we're going to bring Brock Lesnar back, and he's going to walk up, throw Ali off the fucking ladder, and just walk up to the top of the ladder and take the briefcase. Didn't even properly enter the match. Didn't even break a sweat. Yeah, no F5s, no suplexes, no parts of the match, no ladder hits, nothing. He walked in, took the briefcase, and just said, I'm back, bitches. And I was just like, you fucking kidding me? Seriously.
It was a desperation move.
It really was. It was just, and this goes back, I know I'm getting frustrated and I keep cutting you off and I apologise.
It's fine.
This goes back to what I was saying at the start of this podcast, is what they said they were going to be building new stars with these briefcases. And what do they do with both of them? One, they put it on someone that could potentially be built and cash it in straight away. The second one, you put it on Brock fucking Lesnar, the man that is the least person that needs the fucking briefcase, the person I couldn't give a fucking shit about because I don't need him anywhere near the title anymore, and yet he's straight back in the title picture by walking up some stairs. That's it. It's absolute insanity on Vince's part, and it's just proving how fucking deluded and stupid he is.
It's one of those. Don't get me wrong. I'll quickly get to that bit in a minute, but back to Finn. Because he kind of deserved like the man of the match kind of medal.
Yeah,
because
100%.
He took the sunset flip. He had a choke slam on a ladder that was sideways up, and the thing didn't budge.
Yeah.
I think he got was it a deep six or something onto a ladder? It might have been Drew doing something. And then an Alabama slam onto him.
Ricochet got the thrown over the top onto that other ladder that busted in half right near the end.
Yeah.
I think he was done after that.
Unfortunately, even though I don't think he had a bad match, I think he did good stuff. I can't remember a lot of Almas stuff right now.
No, apart from the sunset flip.
Yeah, well, obviously he did the sunset flip, but this seems to me of like Vince knowing like, oh, we're in trouble here, we need a desperation move, we need the shock element. Now, we've always said, why advertise someone, we need the shock. So the shock itself, I liked because it took me off guard.
I didn't.
The payoff, I didn't. So I do. I don't want to, be sitting there going. When Sammy got taken out of the match, and it was 7 people, I thought, obviously in my head, it's going to be Bray. But I was going to be like, is Bray going to come out? Is Sammy going to return? Is Braun going to come out? It's predictable. Not 1 second did I think Brock was going to come out, so I liked that in the shock element. But then, as soon as it kind of dawned of like what they're going to do, it's like
it's obvious what they're going to do. You're not going to put Brock Lesnar there and have him not take the briefcase, are you?
Yeah. So I think someone even put up a meme of like Triple H and Vince's conversation. Triple H go, right, we've got a lot of young stars, upcomers here that we could skyrocket to superstardom.
Should have gone to Ali.
Ricochet, Ali.
Yeah. Drew.
Almas. Who's he going to be?
Yeah.
Brock. Great idea.
Fucking kidding me? What? Like seriously?
Does he really need it? Because
he doesn't. This is the least person that needs it. Because he's going straight into a title picture with Seth, I imagine.
Yeah.
And it's just...
Right,
which means that Seth is probably going to lose.
I don't think Seth will lose.
He fucking better not. He better not.
The frustration...
I think I'll be done if he is. I'm literally getting to that point now where I don't know whether I want to continue to watch Raw and SmackDown. I might just pick out the highlights
we got AEW.
rather than just watching that. And I feel like I'm getting to that point now where how much longer can I hold on with WWE?
Yeah.
I don't want that. I enjoy doing these podcasts and I enjoy doing our predictions and I enjoy trying to salvage something from a pay-per-view, and at the moment I am struggling.
With Double or Nothing coming up this Saturday, I don't want AEW sitting there going, I hope this is going to go okay. I hope they're confident enough that they're rubbing their hands going, we're going to get a shitload of viewers and a shitload of new fans here.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, I've been a WWE fan for most of my life. But it is getting to the point of, like, if a better product comes along, of course we're going to watch that instead.
Yeah.
But it was allegedly 10 minutes up until 10 minutes before the match, everyone in that match thought Ali was winning.
Yeah.
And then
the strongest two was Ali, and apparently Drew was under the favourite as well.
Yeah.
And either one of them would have made absolute sense.
Yeah, but I don't know if I got this fact right. I think at the last 10 minutes, Vince said it's not going to be someone it's going to be a surprise competitor, and I don't think he even told them who it was going to be. To get the fresh reaction shot.
No, but it's also to not get fucking berated by Triple H and everybody else going, what are you doing? If he doesn't tell them, then they can't until it happens. Then after that, he's in gorilla position. It's like, you can't bother me. Yeah. In gorilla position.
Was he there for 90 seconds before he even got the case?
About that.
Within those 90 seconds.
Apparently he injured Ali quite bad. He got busted open.
I saw he whacked his mouth open. Within 15 seconds, he took out 2 cameramen.
Yeah, when he knocked that thing up, apparently he injured one of them as well. And also, I think it was Wrestle Talk guys that shed light on this news story that Vince was fuming about that. Injuring the guy and then injuring Ali. Apparently he was shouting at the cameraman like, you need to cut away from Ali and not show him injured. So he injured 2 people just bursting through like fucking Lesnar does, like this fucking arrogant prick that
anybody else had done that, there'd be fines and Vince probably would have yelled at them more and blah 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 blah. But Brock now, unfortunately, he doesn't think he's untouchable. He knows he's untouchable.
He is untouchable
because Vince is going to keep going. He is an attraction. I'm not going to take that away, but
he doesn't need to be in a storyline.
No,
you need to pop up a couple of times a year, make him like the next Taker, where he comes up twice a year max, and every single time you hear that music, you go, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
You don't want this like him in a storyline with title matches and shit. Just like think every year, who's he going against next? Who do I get to see? I want to see these dream matches with Lesnar versus someone.
Yeah, it's one of them as well. Unfortunately, I thought they might have changed this because there was a potential leak of a number of matches for the Super Showdown thing in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. I know it's Goldberg Taker. I know that.
That's been announced.
Yeah, but Triple H one as well
was meant to be Brock Seth. This was before Money in the Bank, which in my head I was thinking, all right, I know they've got they've got rid of the rematch thing of the contract, but that is passable because again they always go all out for these Saudi Arabia ones. Mm-hmm. It is an attraction match. Now they're going to probably waste the Money in the Bank contract.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like he'll cash in.
At Super Showdown. But you could have just had him have the match at Super Showdown and give the case to somebody else.
But that makes me think that Brock is going to win because are you seriously going to have Brock Lesnar be one of the few people in that statistic not cash in successfully? Brock fucking Lesnar. His little fucking golden muscle boy. I don't see it happening.
Unless they do have someone in mind to cost him the match to build up to a match at SummerSlam.
Which someone like Drew, I would be.
Yeah, but it would have made more sense to me to have Drew win there because Drew looked strong in that match. He did put a foot wrong.
And I think for me that was my personal pick as well. And I think it should have made the most sense because they said they were going to give Drew a monster push, but then things happened with Reigns being off and everything, so they had to change everything. And with Lesnar and eventually Seth winning the title, so he didn't get the monster push that he was meant to get at that point. So I said, right, reset button's happening now. Money in the Bank is that reset button. This is the time to push Drew. This is the time to give him the case, give him that time to build up to the point where he cashes in and he finally becomes a Universal Champion. That makes absolute sense in every sense of the word. And they just haven't gone for that.
I know when it comes to like fans like us who go like, where other like casual kid fans will go, oh my god, look how strong Roman Reigns is. It's like, but it's because the guy who did the move to sold the move well for him. which is always the case in wrestling. But with Drew, it's just like, yeah, okay, the guys are selling the move for him, but he's looking dominant here. I am buying this.
Every single time he nails a claymore, I'm just like,
oh, that's awesome, isn't it?
I love it. It's so good.
What logically would have made sense to me is go, even during the show, during the show they announced, Mick Foley's going to bring out a new title on Raw. Tune in, all right, cheap pop.
That's all it is these days.
They could have said, during they touched on Super Showdown, they gave him the matches, and they said, and the Beast returns to try and take back what's rightfully his. It's going to be him versus Seth. I would have accepted that.
Yeah.
If you'd had Drew win the case, I don't know if the Prince of Saudi Arabia is going, I want a massive moment, bigger than last time at the next one. You could have had Brock win, Drew come out, cash in, Claymore, Brock's head off, pin him, and walk out of Super Showdown as US champion. Fair enough, you still wouldn't have had that 12-month build-up, but it would have been a better payoff. Drew would have got over, it would have been a month with the case, instead of giving it to someone who doesn't deserve it. Because it's not like it's like, this will get Brock from superstar to main event caliber legend. He's already there.
He's always been there.
He's already he's beat the streak. But in Vince's head, he's like, well, now he's a Royal Rumble winner. Now he's winning the bank.
He goes to
now
statistics.
He's got everything.
Yeah, he's going to statistics. It's like, how many more things can we give him?
Yeah, and how many people? Fair enough. I know Seth won at WrestleMania, but you need someone who's going to be on the card for a long time to put Brock down.
Yeah.
The only person that properly put Brock down is Goldberg, and it was part-time.
Yeah.
So
you need someone, because eventually Lesnar is going to stop. Eventually he will have to. So you need to build someone up that generally can take him down.
I think this is also partially Vince kissing Brock's ass, because he's smart enough. With them going back to Brock winning the traction, if Vince says to Brock, no, you're not doing this, or not doing that, or not paying you this amount, Brock might just go, I ain't turning up then, and now there's the risk of Brock going to AEW.
True.
And if Brock goes to AEW, WWE are fucked.
He's again, if that's the case, he's panicking once again.
A proper businessman shouldn't panic.
And it's making him look weak. It's making him look stupid. It's making him look irrational. It's making the whole product fail. And Triple H and so many other people can see that, at the point where there's so many writers, not just superstars, but writers going, I can't work in this environment.
Yep. It's getting
ridiculous
or anything like that. It's almost that thing of where Vince is holding on to the grip of these main event caliber stars so much that they'll slip through his fingers eventually. And when Triple H they're going, what are you doing? Like, I can't let him go. I can't let him go. Like, well, okay. How about instead of panicking with the fact that he might go, just in case we build up some megastars over here to
build up
the
people that want to stay. If people are that desperate to leave, let them leave.
Like Sasha,
just let them go. If Revival don't want to be there, let them go. Don't embarrass them constantly with this fucking itching powder in their fucking trousers, just because you think it's funny, like a fucking old prick. No one thinks it's funny. It's ridiculous. If they don't want to be there, let them go. And then just build someone else. There is so many people on your roster you can build up and make that main event star, but you're refusing to do it because you're putting it to a cheap pot, a quick moment, or shoving it to someone like Lesnar that doesn't need or deserve it.
No.
And it's so ridiculous.
I bet you Heyman hated it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
It's also, like you say, with embarrassing people like the Revival and then like extending the contract of Luke Harper even though he don't want to be there.
Yeah, he's just sitting on his contract. What are you doing?
And letting Dean just, okay, we're sorry to see you go, but wish you well. It's almost like, well, we'll be nice to Dean, so he's gone, but we'll keep the door open.
Yeah.
But with Revival and Harper, it's almost like you're taking a personal grudge of like, all right, well, we're going to embarrass you, and once you're gone, the door's shut, you're not coming back. Well, if you do that, they don't want to come back.
Yeah, and like the reason they're doing that is because he doesn't think of too much of them, but he thinks a lot of Dean because he's a member of the Shield, and he wants that idea in his head that he can bring the Shield back one day because that would be an amazing moment.
Yeah.
So he has to leave that door open for Dean whether he likes it or not.
Well, the fact also with this might be a little bit of a pop at Triple H here. Neither Vince and probably neither Triple H thought Cody Rhodes was a main event star. Now look at him.
Yep.
He's not only a main event star, he's pretty much a founder of the next wrestling.
He's making you sweat, is what he's doing.
Yeah. And Jericho's always been smart enough to know what the future
where
is.
To go. And where it's like, normally I've always gone with the thing that wherever Jericho is, that's where to be.
Yeah. He hasn't just kind of gone, all right, I'll try AEW out. He's put all his chips on that.
You see the tweet that he put about Brock Lesnar winning?
Yeah, and I agree with it.
Sarcastic, weren't it? I was like, and he's right.
Yeah, of course he's right. Jericho is one of the smartest men in wrestling period.
He knows when to freshen it up. He knows when to change things. He knows what the game is and when things are changing. He's so ahead of the game. He's like the Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
Really. They're always the one that are first in with the new thing. When it comes to cars, he's always the first one in with what's new and what's relevant for wrestling.
People have always said when Taker would properly retire, because he was always been deemed like the leader of the locker room, and rightly so. The respect that man has is incredible. I know he's not there half the time, but until I always thought when he officially goes, if Jericho had stayed, he would have been the new ruler, because he's earned that respect for everybody. He's done everything. He's done WCW, ECW. He created Money in the Bank, for God's sake. He just always has his finger on the pulse in wrestling. He recreates his character, and it's always gold. He just knows what's going on. So I'm going to end it, well, not before the rating, just icing on the cake of a rumour that will probably piss you off again, because it was something I thought that might happen during the match, and then I saw this thing on the internet of this is the rumour match for, not for Super Showdown, for Stomping Grounds. They're replacing Backlash with Stomping Grounds. Super Showdown's
a new name like Great Balls of Fire that we've gone within the year.
It's better than Great Balls of Fire, but it still ain't great. But it's like, because I did think, well, why don't you just do Super Showdown instead of another due pay-per-view? But apparently, no, we get the Saudi Arabia one and
so what's the rumour then?
That Seth's Universal Championship match will be against Baron Corbin.
What?
Which I get why people are kind of pissed off, but in my head I was thinking, right, do it. As long as you don't win, do it on a shit pay-per-view, because Stomping Grounds kind of.
But I'm fine with it as long as it's a quick match and Seth Curb stomps in and wins. I don't need a big match there, because it's not going to be good. Seth will carry the match, but I won't be invested, because I hate Corbin.
I feel bad for Baron, because with the right circumstances he would have been okay. His NXT career was great. It's just right now they're playing with fire, and it's kind of that push. It's almost the Roman Reigns thing again, of like you're pushing this guy, no one's asked to be pushed. And again, and when we go, who's asked? It's the fans that matter, and the fans have never called for.
And you're acting like the fans matter when you said you were giving us control, but you haven't. You've just literally just shit on it all.
Yeah. But when Baron did the amazing chokeslams to Arnold through the commentator, but don't get me wrong, huge part. But they were still chanting, "You still suck."
Yeah, you still suck. I remember that. Yeah. So I mean,
It's rumour at the minute.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll change their mind.
Let's kind of wrap it up. Let's go for ratings. I've already got in my head what I want.
I'll go with 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah. It just, well, I know, because I was, with the AJ thing in there. I'll go with 4.5.
See, me, I was 5.
Right,
and I'm a more optimistic person, and this is the first time I've been lower than a 7.
Yeah,
to be honest, the majority of those points go towards Seth and AJ.
Yeah, so the majority of those points go to.
If that match was in there, it'd be less.
Yeah, the quality of the last match, and apart from the result and the Seth AJ thing, but yeah, a lot of it is kind of not only were matches either good or passable, but the negatives and the botches and
outweigh the positives.
Yeah, it was just kind of.
I mean, as you sat here and listened, we've bitched and moaned and complained and ranted for most of this podcast.
But like we talked about with AJ Seth, we don't want to do that.
No, we don't.
It's
not like we're sitting here going, "Oh, I hope WWE go out of business and AEW thrive." I want both to thrive. I would want WWE to go down, but if Vince keeps going the way he is going to force a lot of people's hands. And AEW will take over. They have so much potential to take over because they're doing everything right, and you're doing everything wrong, Vince.
Yeah, well, AEW are doing everything right, and they haven't even got their show off the ground yet.
There's so much hype behind it, and fair enough. We might come to the end of that pay-per-view and go, "That was all right."
Yeah, it might
we may not come away going, "That was incredible." We may just go, "That was all right." It's still got so much more potential than WWE has at the moment.
The reason the Monday Night War was amazing with WWE, WCW wasn't the fact that. The whole thing of like they're both on at the same time on the same day. You do genuinely have to flick through each channel. It was a mindfuck for the fan of which show do I watch, but it wasn't an execution. It wasn't like WWE are going to execute WCW. It was a genuine back and forth thing. With the way things are going, AEW might execute WWE. A terminate is probably a better word. But I don't want that. I want WWE to up their game well enough or Vince to get either some foresight to change his mind or fuck off.
Yeah, because he just, I think that's the thing, he just doesn't realise, and he refuses to, if his 2 kids and his son-in-law can't get through to him,
what hope have we got?
Yeah, we can't. No one else can get through to him.
Yeah.
I thought the only people that would get through to him would be those 3. If they're all standing there going, Dad, seriously, you are fucking this up. You need to think. You need to just maybe take a back seat. And he's going, no, I'm a genius. I'm a wild card. I know how to do it. He's just so deluded. He's so ridiculous. And it's going to be his downfall. And after this massive empire that he's built, that is WWE, because it is a massive global empire, are you really going to do exactly what's happened on Game of Thrones and have this be a bum note to end on? When you're ending your career as this massive titan of a man that's made this company, and the last days were shit because you're deluded and you rush shit.
It shouldn't be the self-destruction of Vince McMahon.
It shouldn't be. You should be knowing that when he finally passes away, I'll go, this man did a lot for this business, and he ended it with his head held high, not going, oh, I'm glad he's dead, now Triple H can take over and we can actually enjoy some products.
Maybe not glad he's dead, but oh good, silver lining.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's, oh fuck, what was I
I'm so kind of happy that on a spur of moment I managed to round that back to Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So you were trying it popped into me in the last moment. I was like, I'm fucking doing this.
I'm trying to find out a way to roll it back round to Bray Wyatt, but I can't. But no, it's got to the point where at first Vince said to Triple H, "How about you control NXT?" And he completely ignores the success of NXT. Like he pretends that he doesn't hear it.
It doesn't happen, yeah.
And then maybe Triple H did have a little bit more leeway in Vince's ear, and Vince is going, fine, you're upset with the product, I'll give you 205 Live. Now, 205 Live isn't the greatest show WWE have, but apparently it's got a lot better since Triple H took over, and I'm not surprised. And yet Vince is still too stubborn to see Triple H's foresight.
Yeah, he just thinks that he's the best, and he's not.
Vince is a good businessman. Triple H is a maybe not as well businessman, but was a good wrestler as well. So he's got the best of both minds.
He knows the product.
Yeah,
he knows it better than Vince does. He just does.
If Vince was a wrestler as well, he'd probably have a better mindset for it. But because Triple H is done in the ring and behind the scenes, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
NXT is proof of that, and the proof of the product at the minute shows Vince has, as unfortunately, the only way I can put it, Vince, is CM Punk is proving you right.
Yeah.
Everything he said all those years ago is that. No, sorry, so proving him wrong.
Yeah. Punk's right, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And you're becoming delusional.
Yeah. The only thing I hope Punk is wrong about is that when Triple H and Steph take over, it actually flourishes. Because, Punk's pipe bomb.
Because it literally can't. Like, it can't get any worse.
No, it can't.
You know what I mean? But then again, I could be wrong. It could get 10 times worse. I don't know. But at the moment, we're not holding up much hope. Let's say this is the lowest rating we've given a pay-per-view, and it's down
collectively.
It's not. It's just a shame because we don't want to be sitting here berating and bitching and moaning and complaining. We don't want to. We want to be sitting there going, this was great, this was awesome, this was solid, this was good. I'm looking forward to that, I'm looking forward to this. And at the moment, I'm not looking forward to anything.
Yeah.
I'm really not. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some great matches to be had. Like, say, Seth and AJ was absolutely incredible. But I'm not looking forward to what's happening next.
Yeah, I mean, Super Showdown might be okay.
Stuff is just happening.
But at the minute, the only reason I'm really looking forward to, because I was going to say, Money in the Bank is what I declared the fifth biggest pay-per-view of the year. Definitely didn't deliver in that sense.
No.
And I don't want to be looking forward to SummerSlam just because we'll probably be having a night out in Birmingham to watch it. I want to be actually looking forward to the show.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of cleaning up to do in the next couple of months to make me actually look forward to watching SummerSlam or future product.
Yeah.
So
they've got a lot of ground to cover, a lot of work to do.
Are we going to do the Double or Nothing?
Yeah, we think what we're going to do, because Double or Nothing...
No promises, we don't know yet.
Yeah, Double or Nothing is next Saturday, isn't
this
it?
Saturday.
Next Saturday. So I think neither of us are doing anything on the Sunday, are we? It only takes about an hour.
But it's just a barbecue at my dad's, so I'll just turn up any time.
This only takes about an hour or so, I suppose. So yeah, we might. I'm pretty sure we probably will. I'd like to do it.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably review AEW. So this, if we do it, it will be our first podcast that's not WWE related. So we'll see how it goes and see what the contrast is. Really.
Well, yeah. If you want to compare it to this rant.
Yeah. So we may have an extra podcast up by the end of the week. At the very least, I think it'll be up on the Monday.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so that's Money in the Bank done. Ranting over.
Yeah.
For the time being.
I'm going to go and drink and get my throat to unsore. Unsore? Is that a word?
I don't know.
It's my new word.
So yeah, like, subscribe, and we'll be back for AEW on Sunday/Monday, and then we'll be back in a few weeks for Super Showdown.
Yes, I think
a few weeks away, innit?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Right. Bye.